John Wick 4. We talked about it up at the top. It delivers, bro. I still have number 1 at the top, but I don't hate anyone who's loving this movie. My rating for this is that this is the first movie to feel like The Raid 2 since The Raid 2. A movie that overinflates its runtime, but does not give up on the action, does not give up on the story. If you thought 3 was balls to the wall, I've heard people comparisons to Mad Max Fury Road. That's 3. That's him running, no gas, no brakes, just gas, full out, but very little story. This finally has combined both a fantastic lore of characters that are coming out of nowhere, these relationships that have expanded, this universe of the Wickverse that has all these ins and outs of this hierarchy. And then the action just doesn't stop. I don't know how, in the 4th movie, you deliver the staircase scene, the over-the-head shot, and a knife battle that ended up becoming... I have to rearrange my... I know the order of the movies, but I don't know the orders of the stunt scenes in these films. Because, 2 is my least favorite of the movies, yet it has my favorite fight scene in a film between Common doing the little pew-pew, pew-pew. Nothing's going to beat that for me because it's just the funniest thing. I don't know how they keep delivering. You're fresh out of all the movies as well, just as I have.
Yeah.
How do you rank them? How do you feel? Are you looking forward to a 5th or the spin-off Ballerina?
I would probably go with 1, 3, 4, 2 if I'm going to rank them from best to worst. So I got
Fair.
Chapter 4 in 3rd place, and that's not to knock it at all, because if we're just going on like a pure action impressive standpoint, I might have this one in first. 3 or 4 are the ones battling for it because they really feel like they've upped their game. I feel like a lot of the filmmaking in this one really did impress me, and like that's something that I've been really appreciating in revisiting the John Wick franchise. Is like, yeah, you can have an action forward blockbuster film that actually pays attention to shot composition and assembly and pacing and lighting and sound and all the things that make up a film other than like a recognizable character and a celebrity playing them. I don't know. There's a lot to really appreciate about how these films do what they do. I was also really struck with the way that while these films are not comedies, like they are not written to be comedies, they're very funny. And the action choreography is very Looney Tunes, and in a lot of the places
it's a dance.
But it's very it gets into these kind of like absurd back and forths. Like my favorite thing they'll do is they have these, they've done them in a couple films where there'll be 2 guys on either side of John Wick and they won't go down right away. So he'll have to deal with one for 5 seconds, turn around and deal with the other one for 5 seconds, turn back around and deal with the first guy. And it's really literally like him bouncing off of walls at certain points. Was there a particular set piece that stood out to you? Because there are so many good ones, as you mentioned. I think they said there were 14 action set pieces in this film. Any one that stood above the rest?
When you're 2 hours into a movie and they hit you with this overhead shot where he's holding a shotgun,
Miami shot
that's called Dragon's Breath or something like that because it shoots out fire as it burns your enemies as you beat them to a pulp. Yeah, I'm thinking it's that one. to invigorate you that late in the movie, dude. Oh, it was, and I saw this in Dolby. It hit so hard, dude. The opening shot to this is a fist pounding. Bro, it was so loud. I thought I was watching it in 40X. The whole seat was rumbling. It delivered on all aspects. That one to me was the best one, and like I had mentioned, the stair one. I've always used Katniss falling in the Hunger Games as a go-to tumble meme. After the first set, he had cleared it. I was like, that's it. I have a new one. It will always be. And then he kept falling. I will not mention Katniss again. This is like with 2012. I've been using my Katniss meme. It's that once I get a full clean shot of that
Looney Tunes moment.
It's the best and metaphorical for the movie and how far he's come. I love it, dude. I have one for you. Besides your favorite set piece, who's your favorite new character?
I mean, look, I really want to say our guy Shamir Anderson, because the glow up could go
Yo.
from this to Bruiser to this, pretty dope,
Bro.
Very, very happy for him.
He needs that spinoff.
And
He was
like
clean.
me, he loves his dog, so like I can relate off the bat to Tracker. I get that.
Yes, sir.
But I also don't know how the answer to this is not Donnie Yen.
Yeah, Donnie Yen. See if I can find him over here. Been a long time coming, dude. I don't know how. And they said it was just a matter of time with all of these actors. Yeah, Donnie Yen just is the definition of cool. You know?
Yeah.
You don't even need the 24 frames per frame. He's just chilling. He's just killing it. And what a great story to intertwine with John Wick too.
Yeah, it's funny because like I don't know, he's able to embody his character so well, because it's not just that he's fighting, he's playing a character who is unable to see, so he's fighting as a blind person, and like to be able to communicate that about your character in your fighting style is absurd to me. He's such a gifted martial artist.
That's one of the best things about these movies, because you have the directors who come from stunt backgrounds. You have a movie in where everybody who's coming in, other action stars as well, already know the language. So there's there's none of this like second unit Marvel stuff. They're ready to go, and I think that's why they deliver so much. I'm gonna give you an audible over here as well. I'm gonna go with the freaking villain of the story, bro.
Ooh,
he had no business being an anime villain in this. His suits,
Bill
his
Skarsgård.
dialogue, he was so menacing in this film. I thought he might top my favorite villain in the John Wick universe.
Ooh.
I loved him. He was so good. So, other than him, rest in peace, Lance Reddick.
I'll say one place where I think we maybe differ a little bit in our assessment of the films is I prefer John Wick when it's not so lore forward. I like it more being in the background. I think the more that they emphasize those elements of it, and particularly like I don't love the whole like, oh, the entire city is now after John Wick stuff. I don't know.
No, that's the best part. I love that part.
It just
see, that's why you didn't want the coin. That's why I want the coin so bad.
Exactly. Yeah,
I gotta cash that in.
I find a lot of it to be like not the kind of silly, like a little more stupid than silly, but
really?
I get that it like deepens the world and stuff. It's just I like it to be a little more bare bones, like the dialogue.
I feel what you're saying. I think that's what opens it to be as silly as possible. Because if not, you'd be wondering how's everyone. They answer it for you, and it becomes the best freaking playground for it. Are you looking forward to them expanding this with a John Wick 5? Do you care for the spinoff? I'm gonna see if I can pull up the spinoff over here because I know they got someone else working on it.
Ballerina, Ana de Armas.
Bro,
I think that's the.
Why
the
do
one
people
that's supposed
hate
to come
this
out next.
director? Yeah, why do they hate the director so much? They have a miniseries in the works. They have Ballerina, which is going to be a movie. Out of all of these, it is no longer the main team working on them. They're giving it to Len Wiseman for Ballerina, and it's going to have Ana de Armas as the lead. This is taking place in between 3 and 4, so it's a prequel. I don't know where the Continental's going to be, but considering that it is a miniseries, I'm sure they'll be able to expand it however which way they want. I know you don't like expanding the world, but this will be expanding the world. Between the two of them, are you looking forward to one more than the other?
I mean, I guess I would maybe look forward a little more to Ballerina, although the fact that they don't have Stahelski at the helm does worry me a bit. Just to speak a little bit more about like the people behind this, like David Leitch gets a lot of credit for those first couple John Wick films, but I haven't really been a fan of the films that David Leitch has sort of gone off and made. Like I just don't.
I'll defend them, man. They're not better than Chad's. Chad's cooler than David.
I'm not saying that like I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm just saying they're not John Wick quality, which makes me think like, do we need Chad at the helm for Ballerina to be John Wick quality?
Can I argue that Chad has stayed with John Wick and done nothing else? Whereas at least this guy's taken different opportunities, has tried to create different worlds at least? John Wick was a sleeper hit.
But I think even the filmmaking, like the filmmaking in John Wick 3 and 4 is just leagues better than anything in Bullet Train.
But you still have one as your number one.
Yeah, I think so. And that
So
maybe
they need to
that's
come
a
back
lot
together.
of it because the lore is more in the background there. But I got
Why do
two at the
people hate Len
bottom.
Wiseman? Why do people hate Len Wiseman?
What's he done?
Oh, damn. Okay, I get it now. I heard nothing but people belittle him, and I'm barely opening his IMDb. Got it. I answered my own question.
Underworld. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, I guess I'm looking forward to The Continental, coming soon to a miniseries site
Yeah.
near you. John Wick, Chapter 4. Overall, I highly recommend it. If it's still playing in Dolby near a theater near you, go watch it. They're pushing IMAX a lot. It doesn't go full screen. You need that Dolby audio mixing. Leave your house.
Good
Go
to
watch
know.
it. It is fantastic. Watch all of them over
I'd
on
agree.
Peacock as well.